welcome, 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 my tarot maniacs. How are you? So Amanda, yes, I was just talking to Boca Raton. I was just talking to my mom. In fact, I'm going to send her a link while we're doing this. Let me get a link for Mamacita. So let me find, here we are. Mute that, share it, copy, and send it to mommy. Mom. There we go. Live right now. Talking about you. So I will tell you, my mom is probably not thrilled that I have kittens galore at my house. It's my mom. My mom thinks you should keep your life very simple with pets. I'm sure she is not thrilled about that. But how are all of you? I see Penny, Amanda, Wifey, Blackface Smile. We had Dave Murphy here, but he is sleeping. And Renee Kennedy, brand new YouTube member. Thank you so much. And Karen Cultus, another member there. Hello, darling lady of the lake. I got all my favorites in the chat today, this afternoon. I'm going to give away some memberships. Let's do it. Do I have memberships to give away? I don't think I have any memberships to give away. I think I have to wait a few more days before I do that. So, I'm in the studio. Hang on. I can give them away. I just got to be on a different tab. There we go. I'm going to give away 5 memberships right now. So there we go. Giving away some memberships. Yippee! Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit the like button as you come on in, kids. Yes, Amanda, you are favorite. You are all my favorites. Raindrop. So, hi, Outer Limits. How are you, my friend? I see you there lurking in the background. Sky Dancer, I see you there too. So, honest opinion on Charles Spencer. I'll give it to you in words of Henry VIII, since that who has his lordship. I liked him not well before, but now. So, yeah. Excellent. I like him much worse. So excellent. Wait, I gotta do the second part. I like him much worse. So I was not a Charles Spencer fan myself. I thought, as much as all of us were fond of Diana, Princess of Wales, I thought that his speech was somewhat petty. And I do think that he could have said it in more poetic terms, just in my opinion. Laura, I'm loving your emoji right there. Loving that. I know Raindrop is a great name, right? Right, Lady of the Lake. It is a great name. So, howdy, Sharon. I see everybody's filing on in. So I did. We are going to do Fan Favorite Friday, and I'm going to do a reading on Lady C and Dan Wooten. And the reason I'm doing that, it was actually a request. Oh, my hair got poofy on one side, but not on the other. Stephen blows my hair out so much better than I do. It's like kind of poofy when I'm a messy hair kind of gal. But Sky Dancer, I see your question. I'm gonna star these questions as everybody comes in. So one of the subs asked if Thomas Markle Sr., Thomas Markle Jr., and Samantha Markle, if they are going to Markle, Dan Wooten, and Lady C. And there is a pretty close connection there. So that's going to be our fan favorite Friday. And I'm actually going to record that right after this live. So we've got an hour. I've got a very tight schedule these days. I'm testing out a new schedule for myself. I am setting up a meeting with Alicia Wicker next week. So I know you guys, some of the new ones, don't know about tarot. Oh my gosh, help me out here. Dueling tarot. Totally brain clouded there. Must be the allergies. So we are going to be doing dueling tarot hopefully sometime in the future. We're going to try and coordinate our schedules. So Alicia has been very, very busy. She's doing some different things at her business, and I am doing some different things at my business. I brought my son down and I said, this is why you have to, yes, we're going to try and schedule a dueling tarot. We're going to talk about what's going on in our lives. And I haven't had like a good chat with her in a while. Also Fire Daddy Tarot. I want to try and put something together with him. He is super, super fun. And he's, I think, down in either Virginia or West Virginia. So I love his accent. And I want to get some masculine energy in on here. So and wifey, everybody, let's throw much love over to wifey's husband with his knee replacement. That's not fun. Not a fun surgery to have. I in the meantime have no idea where my husband is. I had to take Ella over to the campus and came back and he's gone. Have no idea where he is. You guys got 2 videos today, but the second one is just kind of an editorial. There was a question about whether or not I think animals are our guardian angels. And I have a very interesting perspective on that. So you guys can go over and check that video out. I dropped it. And then tomorrow we're going to do that Dan Wooten and Lady C video. And I am a fan of both of theirs. So I want you guys to know that. The Markles, I'm holding out my opinion. My jury is still deliberating. Oh, Laura, good question. Good question. So keep them coming. We're just going to be on for an hour today, guys. So 10 minutes in. And what can spirits say regarding dealing? Oh, good question. Christian, that's a great question. I actually have a family member that is very religious. And we had an interesting conversation about that. So let's get started. We've got tight schedule, and I do want to drop my link for private readings. I've got some cool sales going on this month for you tarot maniacs. Sorry, I did not have this at the ready. I do want to put my link up there. So I have streamlined this is my link. If you guys, I'm going to pin it right to the top. I've streamlined my items that I offer. The April Power Hour obviously is no longer available. First timers, if it's your first time getting a reading from me, there's a special offer for that. The text and on the go WhatsApp readings, text and WhatsApp readings have been flying off the shelves. My Australian people, which I know they're all tucked in bed, like Dave Murphy, they have been eating those up. So if you just want to get like a quick 1 question reading done, that text and WhatsApp is really good. It's $33.33, but if you add $10 for $44.44, I just do a video and send it over. The video is a lot easier. I send you a link with a password. You can download the video. It's very, very cool. There's also the 1.5-hour reading. I still have the 12-month 2-hour reading up there. Past life reading is still up there, but not a lot of people are jumping in on that. So I think I'm going to keep that as a group session. And of course the 1-hour reading is there. I do have a special that's going to be coming up. There's going to be a 2-day booking blitz. So for 2 days, I'm going to have readings available for $99 and you can book them anytime in the future, but I'm only going to have the link up for 2 days. So I'll keep you guys aware of that as we move forward. So let's answer some questions now. So I gifted some memberships and Renee became a new member on her own. Raindrop, let's hit yours. Sorry about that, Raindrop. That wasn't really a question. So we'll take that out of there. Sky Dancer tested me out here. Outer limits. That's a good question. I will answer that. So, and Christian Benitez, I love your last name. That is the funnest last name to say. So, will anywhere in the US experience a big blackout like Spain? So, this really is like a remote view question. So, let's do this. I am doing more and more remote viewing on this channel. And for somebody who said, I'm not really going to do a lot of remote view on this channel because it's kind of boring. Boy, am I a big fat liar. So those of you that don't know what remote viewing is, hang on. So I got 7 questions, guys. So I'm going to try and get to all of them. So if we have more, hi Carol, more from this point out, we're going to have to sit tight. Okay, so I'm going to keep. Oh, Sky Dancer likes the remote views too. So best way to do this. I wish I had like an overlay. So let's make the United States. So we've got Alaska up here. And I am not an artist, guys, so have mercy. So then we have the United States here, goes down to Florida, and we go kind of over this way. And then we'll do Hawaii. Do a bunch of islands over here in Hawaii. So essentially, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. This is actually the best remote viewing. So are we going to see any blackouts in the United States? We're going to see an event up here in New England. We're going to see an event up there. And I'm going to call this August, maybe July, end of July into August. I think we're going to see an event up here. It's going to have to do something with Niagara Falls. So we're going to put Niagara Falls. I'm running out of room. Niagara Falls. It's going to have something to do with Niagara Falls and the way things are being run there. So I was actually at Hobby Lobby today. I'm gonna have to get an unlined book, a big unlined book for this, and I'll fill this whole screen for you guys. I am not an artist, absolutely not. Hi D, see you there. I see you there. So you guys are digging the remote views. And honestly, like the coordinate remote viewing is not as fun to watch. It's more fun for me to report on it, but I don't watch it. Angela, New Zealand, it's the middle of the night. What are you doing up, honey? I see you there. I know what time it is there. It's good to have you in the chat, Angela. Good to have you in the chat. So this event, July into August, this is going to be a power event. It has to do with Niagara Falls. Let's pull some cards on it. And we'll go back to the remote view. So let's pull some cards on it. Let's see what's going to go on there. And you know what? Since we're talking about my friend Alicia, pull out her music cards. I love this music deck that she made. So Zephyr, about the New Madrid fault line. Wifey, sit tight. Oh, raindrop. You hang on. We're going to talk about that. Oh, Laura, you think the remote viewing is fun to watch? Okay. All right. So let's see what's going on with this New England event that I'm getting. Let's get a card out of here from Alicia Wicker's musical oracle deck. And this is something that I have in common with my sister on the other coast, my tarot sister. We both are clairaudient. And you don't have to have just one of the clairs. Like you can have you can have more than one. You can have all of them. And we both would hear songs, and then the songs would be relevant to what we were talking about. So with this power outage, every rose has its thorn, which sings in harmony with what they're all kind of pointing the finger at in Spain right now. They're all saying that this was part of the net zero issue. Daniel Boland had a very interesting take on it. I didn't get to watch his whole video, but he thinks that there was and I kept saying there was a wump. I felt a wump coming from a nuclear facility, possibly. And he thinks that it was the nuclear power that kicked on from France. So I'm going to have to take a look. And I know during that remote view, oh, excuse me 1 second. I'm live literally right now, and I just unmuted myself so everyone knows I'm talking to Greggy. I'm live right now. Come home. Goodbye. So Greg went to get a haircut. So every rose has its thorn. Big rose garden near Niagara Falls. Okay. Um, yeah, Zephyr. So that will happen. Songs will come up. Sorry about that, guys. I did not know if my husband was in trouble someplace. Oh, Amanda, I'm on a no carb day. I had fresh mozzarella and beefsteak tomato for breakfast. That was I think he may be home right now. So, box of chocolates. That's just what my fat ass needs. So. Oh my goodness. I am a chubby gal. So all right, so what's going to happen with this? So every rose has its thorn, net zero. Daniel Boland said that he thought it was the surge of power that came from the French nuclear plants that have been feeding into them. So, Two of Cups here. Oh, sorry. Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Six of Swords. This is going to be Knight of Swords. It's going to be the same Page of Swords, both in reverse. Wild, guys. Wild. The Hierophant. How's the Hierophant respond to this? Page of Pentacles. So I do think that this is going to be a test event. Now, everyone's saying, oh, they were testing, blackout, blah, 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 trying to shut the lights on. 10 days of darkness, all the conspiracy theorists love that 10 days of darkness. I think that this is testing to go over to a different power source. So was this an experiment in Spain where they were trying to go over to those net zero kind of energy sources? Yeah, obviously. Did they have interference from the nuclear power plant? Possibly. I'm going to look at that a little bit more detail now that I watched Daniel Boland's video. I love that guy. He's adorable. And he is in España. And I love that he makes fun of Ilaria because he's like, she doesn't speak Spanish. I speak Spanish. So I think this is going to be a very similar situation. I think they're going to try and go over to another power source. And I do not think it's going to be that Sky Dancer. So I don't think it's going to be that kind of an incident because it just seems that they're going to try and do something a little bit different. The powers that be would like, I always say you can't legislate being nice. Legislating people being nice to each other, just teach a classroom for 5 minutes and you can't get everybody to like each other. What? Hang on. Thank you, Zephyr. We'll take a look at that. I'm your Huckleberry on that one. So let me jump over to that one real quick. Let's see what's going on. Waltz. Oh my God. Tim Waltz. He is the manliest man ever, right? Oh, Carol, stick with me there. Yeah, Zephyr, I'd like to see them legislate you be nice. Zephyr, I like your style. I like the cut of your jib. So Waltz has been nominated for the U.S. ambassador to the UN. What the actual? Oh, Mike Waltz. Oh, thank you for the correction. Thank you for the correction. So let's see how that's going to work out with Mike Walls. What is that going to go through? First of all, let's see if it's going to go through. Are they going to accept him? Thank you so much. There's a lot of different opinions about that. The Five of Swords here, they're going to have a lot of different opinions. But right now, how is it going to shake out? I don't know if that's going to go through. I don't know if that is going to go through. It's almost like he seems like the best candidate, seems like the best guy for the job, but ultimately they're just not going to do that. They're just they're not going to follow through on it. I think there is a change of character in him that does not sit well with a bunch of people. So he was national security advisor, so it cannot go through. They pushed him through once. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So, okay. I got all excited. I thought it was Tim Walz. I have to be honest. I haven't been listening to the news in my car because I got a great new book. I got a new book on Marilyn Monroe and I've been listening to it. Greg's either home and talking to Raven. I don't know what he's doing. So is Trump working directly with ET? Several other people said he's getting advice from extraterrestrials on changes that are needed. I'm aware of how crazy this sounds, Laura. It does not sound crazy. I am with you on that. So, and I'm just going to make myself a little bit bigger. So those of you that have been following me for some time, you know that I've been teaching Greg how to do remote viewing, and he's quite good at it. He's really good at finding lost pets, which is neat. We all get like a super skill when we start getting into our psychic abilities. Hi. Oh, your haircut looks good. Hi. Do you want to show everybody your shirt? Because it's really awesome. Here comes the hub. There it is. The element of surprise. He is the element of surprise. So Greg, oh yeah, and you're walking away. So Greg is quite good at remote viewing. And what you're a hound dog.
I found one dog.
You found one dog like in 5 minutes. So it was pretty impressive. But Greg also did a remote view when we did just a random remote view, and was during the
I don't want to talk about that.
I'm already talking about what's Raven doing?
It's a little scary. Huh? I don't know. Yeah, that was,
is she having trouble getting up?
No, she's right there.
What is that noise?
It's Angus.
Oh, that's my son. My son.
Drumming.
So, all right, I got to be concise because I've only got an hour. So, Greg saw facility with some not human individuals in there.
They look a bit tall.
They were a bit tall. So, yes, very, very curious sized people. So, let's see. Is Trump working with representatives from other locations? Is Trump working with representatives from other locations? So, wifey, I'm going to send you a screenshot of another shirt about CERN that one of my girlfriends posted on Facebook, and it was pretty funny. I can't say what it says. Hi, honey.
Greg. Yes. Madam wants to. Yes.
The Chariot in reverse, the Lovers, and Nine of Cups. I don't think so, guys. I don't think he's working with them. And this is why. Because say hi. Just say hi. We're live.
Hello.
Hi. Kiss mommy. Aw, such a good boy. So under the surface, collaboration, we've got enough trouble on terra firma. So why kind of introduce more cultures into that is kind of the you can say what's up.
Some grumpy Saturn.
No. It's wife of a grumpy Marine.
Oh,
yeah, that's okay.
Who's that?
That's one of my friends. It's one of my girlfriends.
Everyone.
So, oh, wait. Hang on. D, I see your question. Sit tight. So get out of here, honey. I love you. So I've only got an hour. So Hashtag monster.
I'm
So
against that.
here, I think the collaborations that we've done in the past, Sky Dancer, I will do a longer reading on that. Absolutely. So the collaborations that we've had in the past, what was the Roswell? Why am I saying it wrong?
Roswell incident?
Roswell incident.
What about it?
I think that we did have people here for that event.
You start talking about UFOs,
And the Black
helicopters
Hawk,
are flying over.
we just had a helicopter go over Roswell. Thank you, Zephyr. So, from the slap. So I think that the collaborations that we were doing with those teams, those pioneer teams, those excursions that came here to the big blue planet, I think that those relations did not go well. I think that things were not handled exactly the way that they should have. And we have some time before we can coordinate with them. So relationships with the extraterrestrial cultures, I'm going to call them cultures, are at a standstill right now because we're not sure how to proceed. So hang on, Carol. Sit tight. I'm trying to mark your questions here, guys. So I've got 13 on the table right now. I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible. I actually only have a half hour, but we can go to 45 minutes. So I'm going to answer as quickly as I can. The magician here, we do not have the ability to defend ourselves in that situation should we get into trouble with them. So I think that that is a pretty clear answer. We are not working in cooperation with them at the moment. um yeah, I don't think that I think they think that we're kind of savage too. So great question, Laura. So Christians, I'm gonna talk. I'll speak a little briefly on this. So one of my family members is Catholic. I have a lot of different religions in my family. Everything from Judaism to different realms of Christianity. There on my biological father's side, I think there was a Hare Krishna or two. There's just lots of different people. My husband, his family is half Buddhist. My first husband was a Buddhist. So there's lots of different religions. So this one particular family member, my daughter was having some anxiety, as kids do, that had to go through the pandemic and school, and had a lot of trouble with that. And she I had mentioned this to my aunt, this family member, because she said, well, it's because you're reading tarot in the house. I said, oh, good Lord. Really? She said, well, you're going to bring demons. You're going to bring demons. And I do think that there are different esoteric or new age practices that can go into a darker realm. And that's one of the things that I always say to my clients. Every now and then I will get a client who's like, I had one friend who I no longer hang out with, and she's like, Carla, you were gifted a membership. You have a membership for a month, honey. So hang out for that. That's awesome. I give away one reading to I give a half hour away to one tarot enthusiast a month, and I give it a full hour away to one tarot master a month. So I'll be posting up the meeting for that. It's probably next Tuesday, because I gave away the April one in this session, in this week's session. So Carla, congratulations, awesome stuff. So one of the things that I had to explain to my aunt was that my intent, it's really your intent. If you do go into the Bible and into other religions, there are people that are seers or advisors, and I do believe that I am allowed to have access to the information that I do, because my intent is good. I'm never going to advise someone, oh yeah, quit your job and cheat on your husband and go tra la la and take him for all he's worth. Like, I'm not going to give that kind of advice. I mean, there are readers out there, just like there's hairdressers that will shave your head and give you purple hair. Hi, Chanley. There are other hairdressers that are going to give you very straight haircut. So, all of the practitioners in this realm um, really do vary. So if your intent is good, and I'm not saying, if you have good connections with spirit, God, the greater universe, you're going to give good advice. And sometimes that advice is not what the client wants to hear. So this one girlfriend would come over and she'd throw herself on the couch and she'd go, just read some cards and tell me my ex-husband's doing terribly. Well, the truth was her ex-husband was doing really well in his life. And thankfully, if you are focused on your lack of success in the shade of someone else's success, then you're going to be kind of rolling around in the muck there. You're not going to move into a better place. So sometimes I will tell someone, hey, you know what, like, you got to stick it out in this job for a little bit longer. Like, there is a destiny here that is going to be better for you. You are going to get that raise, you are going to get that promotion. Sally, who's cracking her gum in the cube 3 feet away, she's going to quit, she's going to get fired, she's going to be gone. Sometimes, you have to tell people what they don't want to hear. Likewise, sometimes I have people that call me up, I know my husband's cheating on me. Well, in reality, no, he's not. He just is, tired at the end of the day. It's not really, go work on your marriage. Don't try and call a psychic and find out if he's cheating on you. I mean, that's crazy. Fire Daddy Tarot is really funny on one of his lives. Somebody, he does live readings, he busks too. And he somebody saying, can you tell me if I'm pregnant? And he said, I'm not going to tell you if you're pregnant. Go get a pregnancy test. That's crazy. Why are you asking a psychic? Go find out from, an actual test. And, that is the truth. A lot of the time, my clients will ask me questions and they already know what direction they're going to go. And I wind up giving them confirmation. So outer limits, yes. Send me an email. Any of you guys, I'm fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com, easy email. If you ever have big questions you want me to throw up on a longer read, I absolutely welcome them. I love questions from you guys. I like you guys to derive a lot of my content. I know you love the Harry and Meghan stuff, but it can get really tedious. So this is not just a Harry and Meghan channel. I do the Yellow Brick Road reading, so I try and find a way out of the mess that they have found themselves in. So, Christian, I hope that kind of answered your question. I think telling them, and I teach psychics and I teach tarot readers and I don't teach remote viewing. I'm teaching Greg because, he's my husband. But Lori Williams at intuitivespecialist.com, in specialists with an S, is really a phenomenal teacher for remote viewing. I would never, ever, ever step into her teaching realm. I teach tarot. I teach opening up your psychic ability, and it really that's what I know, and that's what I do best. I still consider myself a remote viewing student at this point. But as long as you come to the table with the highest intent and the intent of improving someone's life. My goal when I do a private reading for someone is I want them to feel better when I am done with the reading. I want them to walk away with a different perspective, maybe another layer of perspective where they can proceed and do things better in their life. So that's really my goal. And you expand after a while. I have real estate agents. I help them find houses for clients. I help them find listings for their own book of business. I have other people in business. I have people that are investors that ask me how stocks are going to perform and, what direction to go with different things. I do readings on all of that stuff. I used to use remote viewing for my corporate job all the time. Yes, Michelle, I've got quite a long list, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to you. I'm going to do my best. Um, I have a clean spirit and I've opened your mind. You're a traditional Catholic. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and thankfully, your psychic friend told you yesterday that you'll never be psychic, and she said that's not your purpose. But it doesn't have to be uh yeah, like I don't know. I think we all can do it. I think we all can do it. So some people are maybe afraid to do it. I think my mom is watching, and my mom is very psychic, but she doesn't do it as a practice. Carnella, my husband knows where I am and who I'm with. He doesn't really have to be worried about that. Somebody said, just a thought, is it a good idea to teach your husband remote viewing because he will know where and who you are with? So yeah, I don't know. Greg knows everything about me. So all right. Outer limits. This is a question that I can answer too. Do you have any kind of tarot deck that you would avoid at all costs, be that the artwork style, perhaps themes, I fear? So the Crowley tarot deck, I struggled with that. And I did get a little spooked out by it because that deck, I'm digging it out here. But this one is relevant to it. So the Aleister Crowley is very interesting character in esoterica. Um, he branded himself the wickedest man in the world. That wasn't a title that he got by other people. He was a practitioner of the Golden Dawn, which is set of darker, a sect of darker magic. This particular deck, Lady Frida Harris was the artist. Oh, let me bring this up. Lady Frida Harris was the artist that was commissioned for this. And it took him, I think, 5 or 6 years to get all of the artwork done. And the artwork is just stunning. There's so much in this image. Like, those are coins and grapes, and there's golden drops in the background. The caduceus is there in the middle. There's a crystal heart. You can see a dove, some diamonds, or actually that's metal and fire. Sorry about that. And butterflies. And then we have that swirl of light. There's the flowers there. We have the entwined children, crocodile. That all of that has esoteric meaning. So when I first got this deck, I was like, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about." I got this when I was like 18, and even this cross is one of the projects that you have to do in the Golden Dawn to advance to a master level, and the cross has lots of meaning as well. All of those bits in it are extremely important. But that was a deck that I jumped into, and I thought, oh well, I have no problem. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know enough about tarot, and it's like a PhD in tarot reading. You have to know alchemy, you have to know astrology, you have to know the Golden Dawn to a certain extent. I am still studying that deck, and I do use it, but it is for very, very intense readings. The yes, the Boleskine house intrigues me too. That was the house that he had near Loch Ness, and Jimmy Page owned it at one point, and then it burned down. So what got me back into what's that?
And then it fell into
and then it fell into a swamp. What got me back into it was the Star Tarot, which is a commercially prepared deck. You can get this anywhere, and this has excellent artwork. It is based on the Thoth Tarot deck, so there's a lot of similarities to the Crowley deck. So the Crowley deck, I was freaked out by, and I learned through the fear. It was the fear of just not knowing enough, not having enough of that PhD in tarot reading and that kind of thing. I think there are better decks to read with that, and I have about 200 decks. In fact, I'm going to flip a whole bunch of them. I'm going to send a whole bunch over to thrift books because I just have too many. Yeah, and to be sure, like the practices of Crowley, he was not nice to cats. He was not nice to people on some occasions. So, a little bit of a creepy guy. I did get the Cthulhu deck, and I don't love that deck. I don't love that deck. The Crowley deck, when I was reading it, when I was younger, I would get headaches because it just was too much information was coming in. It was opening the door way, way, way too much. Now I can read with it. I don't read with it often on the channel. You guys don't see me read often with it on the channel, but oh, Madame Blavatsky, Sky Dancer, stay away from Madame Blavatsky. She was an interesting lady, huh? With all those different variations of existence. I thought that was really cool. She had a lot to say about Lemuria. She's like one of the voices that talks about Lemuria. But I agree that, hang on. Yeah, the secret doctrine. I find that if things are really hard to comprehend, they're sometimes better left alone for a while. And that's one of the things, like with the Golden Dawn teachings, like sometimes it's just a little too complicated. Like it is not that complicated. My messages come through pretty clear. So the Crowley deck, I love the artwork. I do think that Lady Frida Harris did an amazing job. The Cthulhu deck, I think, is a little too dark. It's a little too film noir for me, with like Cthulhu thrown in. So that's one that I don't love. But a lot of the time, like I get a deck and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really gonna like this one. I have one that is, I pre-ordered it, and it's like a cottage fairy tale tarot. So I'm curious what that's gonna be like. So let's get back to some reading. So Amanda, some QAnon conspiracy theories say the first arrest will shock the world. Any insight to which major political figures will be the first shocking arrest? Who was the soup sandwich guy from the Prime Minister, Greg, that I always said soup sandwich? Huh?
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson comes to mind right away. Boris Johnson. Boris, and we call him a soup sandwich over here. No soup. No, Boris Johnson had all the soup. All the soup. So, Boris Johnson, end of the world, the end of the world, too much strength. Queen of Swords, Hierophant, Seven of Cups. So he's going to be I think Boris Johnson is. There's going to be something that happens with him, but it's going to be in the next 3 to 5 years. It's not going to be right away. And I don't think that he is the guy who is the one who is kind of directing the traffic on this. I think he's a fall guy. I think they kind of push him to the front and go, he did it. Look at him. Look at him. It was him. So I think that they are going to connect him to he has a wicked sense of humor. Yeah, I know, Carnilla. I think he messes his hair up on purpose. I think that's kind of his shtick. So who's the other UK leader who gets his clothes for free? Is that Starmer? I think Boris Johnson. I think they're gonna, and I'm not saying that Boris Johnson is going to be in trouble for reals. I think he is going to be an arrest that's going to be a surprise. I think he is going to, I don't know if he's going to be the first one, Amanda. So let's see, what's our song card for Boris? Oh, tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Oh, that looks like a cup of coffee. Want a cup of coffee, but I've had too much caffeine today. So I love his hair. It's a symbol of the government. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I think Boris Johnson may be in some trouble. So I haven't paid too much attention to what's going on with him. So wifey, the Madrid fault line. So the new Madrid fault line. So where's the new Madrid fault line go, Greg?
Hmm?
The new Madrid fault line. It
The
starts.
New Madrid fault line? You mean the toothpaste commercial?
What? No, that's the new Backstreet Singers.
Mean
Street Backstreet Singers.
Where is? I don't know what.
But
What do you need me to look it up?
thanks for not helping.
I'm busy.
Really?
Busy.
So I think it starts in upstate New York near Albany.
That's not even close to Madrid.
It's not close to Madrid at all.
It starts in not even close. It's the New Madrid fault line. Basically follows the Mississippi. I think it's between Missouri, Arkansas.
Okay, why did I think it went all the way up by us?
Mississippi and Tennessee, Virginia, into Indiana and Illinois. I don't know.
So there's our fault line, wifey. How do you like that? So, if we're looking at the top of said fault line,
I didn't do it.
the top is where it's pinched, and I know this isn't technical terms. The top is where it is pinched. And that means that I think he's Bergamot, Amanda. I think we named the Orange Musketeer Bergamot. Or Bergamot? Am I saying that right? Bergamot. So I think it's Gandalf, Bergamot, and Tortoiselli are our three amigos, the three cats. So
there's no Dusty Bottoms?
No Dusty Bottoms. So it's pinched up at the top. So that's where there's like a pressure point is up at the top. Now, traveling down, it's wider in the middle and kind of widens going down. There's a pinch up here. So yeah, it will split America. And that's what I'm seeing down here is when this shifts. And I think everyone's expecting this piece of it to shift, but it's actually this piece that's going to shift up. So it's an unexpected movement. So I'm getting 8, 10, 15. Like I'm getting a lot of different numbers. I think there are factors that are going to influence this. But what I can tell you, so my remote view is I feel a lot more of it. So this pinchiness that's up here is kind of the pivot point. So if the pressure keeps building up at the top, that's where the left side of it kind of slides up, and that's where this gulf widens here. This part will shake, rattle, and roll. The right side, the east part of that fault line is really going to shake, rattle, and roll. So there's going to be a lot of earthquakes and a lot of earth movement, but it feels like the edges may crumble a little bit, and that includes like the northeast coast, the eastern coasts. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of crumbling. I suspect that this area is not going to fare very well because it feels like there's a lot of stuff that's kind of crumbling off into the sea. It's just kind of falling off, falling off, falling off, and that'll happen for a while.
You're not drawing your penis, right?
No, I am not.
Okay.
I think this part feels a lot more of it, even though this part is the one that's moving. I think this, as it kind of tries to reset itself into place, I think this shakes a lot more. So, there you go. I mean, that's my prediction, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. I'm not getting a real clear. I mean, like 2015 is like popping into my head. So I'm perhaps something happened in 2015. Hello, Samantha Mustard. Um, my girl Samantha Mustard has entered the building.
With the candlestick
She
in
has.
this study.
So, all right, I'm gonna close up questions because I don't even know if I'm gonna get to all of them, guys. All right, so D, I hope you're still here. Your husband and son are in Germany now vacationing. Will the trip go well?
Sure. I'm going to do that. What is it?
So I do think that they're gonna have to reroute some of their trip. And that's that death card, the rerouting things. Um, I don't know if it's a change of hotel or a change of travel plans, but I think they're going to have to do that. Not a bad thing though. They'll be disappointed. They're not going to get to see a couple of things. May cause some delays. These cards look pretty dramatic over here. I agree, but the journey home, I think, gets rerouted a little bit. So, other than that, I think the trip is going to go just fine. It's going to go just fine. Typical like hang up things when you travel. But that rerouting of it, they're going to be disappointed because they're not going to get to see something that they intended to go see. So they're going to be bummed out about that, and it's going to cause some delays for them in terms of travel. One of the things, if they do get hung up on travel, just let them know, like, sometimes the universe takes you down another road and you get to see something really cool that oh, Samantha, you have kitties too? I have kitties. So sometimes you get to see something really cool when you get rerouted. So Carol, waiting for test results. So Samantha, they're on my porch now. They are not hiding in a tarp. They are on my porch and they are being handled by me regularly. So very cute kittens. And mom's doing great. So very pleased with what's going on. What is going on? Oh no, Sammy. Oh, because she broke her phone. I'm like, what's going on? All right, so test results. So, if this is a biopsy or something like that, I think they might have to go back in and kind of scoop a little bit more, which is fine. I know all of this is the waiting game. All of this is the waiting game. The good news is when we get that Three of Swords, the Three of Swords is like the worst possible card in the deck. But when it's in reverse, it means we're coming out of something. So things are getting better. Things are being repaired. When I teach reversals, just for our purposes here, I teach reversals. There's 6 reversals. So we have increasing energy, stable energy, decreasing energy, and then the same thing in the upright position. So it's increasing, stable, and decreasing. So for this, like, and you intuitively know what's going on with that. So this is going into the healing process. So all of this anxiety gets relieved, and that's why it's in your suitcase position, this relief from anxiety, because this is a relief that you've had before. So you can take a deep breath and you can just relax. It's going to go fine. They may have to go in and scoop a little bit more, but that's totally fine, Carol. So everybody give Carol a little bit of love in the comments. You can drop some hearts. You can drop some flowers, whatever you got. You can give her a little cuddle there. I gave her both. I gave her hearts and cuddles. So everybody throw that over there to Carol for speedy healing, getting back on the horse again. There we go. That's stay positive. Absolutely stay positive. One of my friends is in for a scan. She currently has cancer and she's in for a scan. She's hoping that it's going to come through clear. So I'm going to have to give her a call later. So yeah, Penny, that's a cute little emoji there. That's adorable. I got to give the membership some new emojis. You guys need some new emojis. I'll get to work on that over the weekend. So, Carnilla, why did Diana, the Princess of Will, has many men in her life? Being a royal, she should have had a little consideration for her son. So let's see, why did she do that? Can I put a camera on the kittens? I could do that. So they'll be up walking pretty soon. I got Mama a new bed today. So she's being such a good mom. So why did Diana have so many men in her life? Why did she have so many men in her life? So unfortunately, she wasn't there, doing having these relationships. She wasn't doing that. And we're talking about Diana, the Princess of Wales. Underneath it all, she really wanted the fairy tale life. She really wanted to be a good princess, be a good wife, be a good mother. She really wanted to do that. She's a Cancer. A lot of us Cancers are like that. Up top, she was kind of stopped from doing that because the relationship really was forced. Her relationship with Charles was really forced. He wanted to marry Camilla. He did not want to marry her. And he was told, you cannot. You have to marry someone appropriate. Well, in the end, she wasn't appropriate. So the anxiety of being in a marriage where she had to share the thing that she wanted the most, being trapped in that and being unhappy, the only way that she could get a respite from that, an emotional respite, was to go to bed with other men. And I'm not saying that she was of poor moral stature or anything like that, but she really was seeking a true love, and sometimes that was going a little bit faster in terms of physicality. So I think
Not true love. It was to Blade.
Blathe. I think she was very, very trying very hard to find true love. And being stuck in that marriage, she really needed to accelerate the process with any prospects. So I think she was lonely wifey. Hi, Hilaris. How are you, darling? So did JFK ask, why are the grays here? Did he ask that? One card for this. Did he ask that? Did he ask that? Boom. Oh, I think he did.
Why are the grays here?
Yes. But The Department of Defense had told him that this was a very dangerous thing to be questioning about. So I do think that there's some involvement there. Absolutely. Absolutely, kids. Absolutely. All right. So we just have 10 minutes. Are we ever going to find out if Harry's kids are blood royal, even if they are not born of Meghan's body? Are they Harry? So, two questions there, Melinda. So, are we ever going to find out if Harry's kids are blood royal? So, this is a yes or no. I think they're going to cover that up. Are they his kids? Oh, there's a lot of parties here, a lot of people involved. A lot of people involved. Will they be considered blood royal if they are not born of Meghan's body? Will they be considered blood royal? Temperance. Three of Wands, go away. Two of Pentacles. No, they won't be. I don't think William is going to allow that. I think William is going to send them off on their merry way. So I think they will attempt to set up another branch of the royal family. So Chanley, may I get spirit or guides reading on what I need to know most now? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely, my friend. What do you need to know most right now? You need to know. Whoop. That heartbreak and pain are sometimes sustained by not reviewing your effect on the world. So this could be something as simple as being sad because things aren't made better around you, and not acknowledging the impact that you've already had on those things. So kind of taking inventory and seeing how well you have impacted others. And then we have, we're gonna give you a music card too, sweetie. You and me, we used to be together. And this is from Don't Speak, No Doubt. So that is something that you need to focus on. So Chanley, I hope that helped. That was a quick read. Michelle James, yes, I am going to throw you one of these musical cards. Bloop. And you got I'm All Out of Faith. Torn. Oh, Natalie Imbruglia. She was Australian, wasn't she? I think she was.
Was she Australian?
I think she was. English. Thought Australian. You are welcome. Hi, Billy. Outer Limits. Maybe the guy on the grassy knoll was actually in a gray suit. Oh. So I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. So, Michelle James, peel back the layers to reveal the good things that happened in the past, to the sweetness that happened in the past, and the things that you love, and that will help you walk away from this indecisiveness, this coldness of the moon. This is a very cold card, the moon. It's very spooky and nerve-wracking and mysterious, and you don't know what's around the corner. But with the innocence of a child, and I think, having faith in this sense, we are warmed by, and this goes back to Christian's question before, the intent that we come to our day with. Are we coming to the day with good intent? Are we trying to live our best life? Are we trying to, um, be a better person every single day? Are we trying to function in a good capacity for all the people around us? I think, that will take you out of this lack of faith. So, remembering the warmer times. And we can't always be super, super optimistic. Like sometimes that's difficult. But if you practice being optimistic, then you can move forward. So all right, so will First Nation people lose their land and rights? I read somewhere that a law was in the works no longer recognizing First Nation people as U.S. citizens. That is crazy. Is there any truth to that? Let's see if there's any truth to that. Is there any truth to that? There's somebody that's trying to do it, but it's not going to work. Like that's not going to happen. This is somebody grasping at straws, trying to make this is like another Project 2025. Like it's just not. It's just not. They're not going to make fetch happen. So, rumor. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Wifey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're always taking care of me. M. Grace, how'd you do? How'd you do? How'd you do? So is OP starting to have deeper feelings toward me? And we're going to wrap this up, guys. I got Carnilla and Beth. So everybody sit tight. Carnilla and Beth are the last ones. And then I got to go. I got to pick up my darling child. So is OP starting to have deeper feelings toward me? Well, let's see how OP feels right now. How about that? 9 of Wands. OP is really thinking about what to do here. So, open to opportunity. The 9 of Wands is like, hey, I'm open to opportunity. I don't know if I'm ready to go to the next level. But the Hermit's interesting. And I don't want you to think about the Hermit as like solo operator, but the Hermit goes into the wilderness and goes into solitude and quiet to distill the information that he has. So is this maybe OP weighing some different options, some different candidates? Possibly. Is this OP weighing the benefits of being with someone versus not being with someone? Or perhaps kind of laying out the tracks for the rest of their life. So, this kind of contemplative thinking about it, it's best not to really force ourselves on those kinds of people or force ourselves into that equation. Let them process that information because this is not a selling process. That OP is not a consumer in this sense who is car shopping, so to speak, like going from place to place car shopping. This is OP sitting at home trying to figure out what kind of car they want to drive. Do they want a pickup truck, an SUV, a minivan, a motorcycle? Maybe they're trying to figure out, do they want to lease a car? Do they want to finance a car? Do they want to buy it outright? So I think letting them figure out what they're up to is the best bet. So for you, that is fire down. You don't want to do too much of a sales pitch because they're going to get spooked. OP's going to tra la la off. So fire down. Don't worry about being in a relationship and just be the boss of your life for right now. That is going to be a great selling point. Being the boss of your own life and having your own ducks in a row. So keep that in mind. Thank you for your contribution. Greatly appreciated. I'm going to hit these last 2 questions, guys. And I am going to try and do a live this weekend, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So, Beth, let's talk about your future husband. Your future husband. So, Beth, I'm not sure if you're like a very quiet person, but this future candidate And I think there's more than one. This future candidate is, and I don't think this is an insult, just for the record, because I'm pretty nerdy and my husband's pretty nerdy. But he is pretty nerdy. He's pretty he's no Chris Cornell. I'm just gonna put it that like, no offense. But he is in a teaching art of some sort. Not teaching art, but he's in the art of teaching. And I do think that he's like a grade school or middle school teacher. I think he teaches young kids. Um, Likely history is one of his favorite subjects to teach. I don't know if it's the subject that he teaches, but he is going to be very shy. So I don't know if you are in a teaching environment. He's not the kind of guy that like jumps out and he's like, I want to take you out. He's not that guy. So it's going to be a little bit. It'll be a very quiet ask out. So there is some kind of outdoor event that you will meet him at. It feels like a state fair kind of thing. Some kind of outdoor event that you could possibly meet him this summer. He's local, so it's not like, you're going to run into him in Azerbaijan or something like that. When you're on an excursion, but he'll be wearing white on the top, and there's some kind of red on his t-shirt. I think it's a t-shirt. So there's some kind of red design on the t-shirt. It's not Coca-Cola or anything, branded that I would recognize. It almost feels like a superhero kind of thing on there. Like Captain America. I know that Captain America is kind of corny, but I don't think it's Captain America, but it's like kind of like red bold lines on his shirt. He'll have a jeans on with a belt. Belt is brown. Buckle is a little bit tarnished. It's not new. It looks pretty beat up. It's a very comfortable belt that he loves. He's had it for a long time, like since college. And he will be there with family, including possibly the nieces or nephews. They're there to go on the rides, and you will likely meet him over by the food trucks or concession area. You'll be standing when you meet him. Again, you will catch him looking at you, but he's going to have his hands full. If you want to talk to him, go over and talk to him. That's the best thing I can tell you. So, so there it is. There it is. So I hope that gives you some direction. Nerd sounds good to you. All right. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. So, oh, Laura, you're welcome. Yes, hit the like button for the kittens. Hit the like button for those kittens. You guys, I'm going to keep doing videos on the kittens. I'll do shorts and let you guys see them grow up. They're so cute. I can't wait till they start like walking outside the little den. Mom is just so chill, so chill. So who or what was I in a previous life? So I don't really need the cards for this. I'll pull some cards, but I'll pull this up. Zephyr, I think the orange kitty is Bergamot. Burgermeister Bergamot. I think Greg left. Did you leave? Oh, Greg snuck out. So, who or what was I in a previous life? Orange, sand, like mud structures, like here we go with my bad art again, guys. So mud structures that kind of do like this, and they have like little windows. This is red. Very red. Very red mud. Sand. Desert. Desert. Not dessert. He hates it when we call him sneaky, wifey. So this particular lifetime, and you know, there's something. It feels a little Mesopotamia, because I'm seeing. You're really going to see my artwork here. There's like a headpiece, and there's like dangly things on this headpiece, and long dark oiled hair. I don't know what's on this part, but your hair is definitely oiled. You're a woman, absolutely a woman in this life, and not really anyone of note. But it feels Mesopotamia. Um, your hands. You make things with your hands. I see you rolling something, and I want to say it's bread, but I don't think it is. I think you actually made like clay pots or something. There's something about like rolling it out in these beautiful, like kind of twisty. You'd make like these long snakes of I guess like mud, clay, ceramic. I don't know, and then you would like kind of you would kind of twist them around each other, and then put that on the Oh, Smiley, I'm sorry. I actually have to jam out of here in a minute. So I'll do another live soon. I promise. I've been remiss on my lives. But I not a person of note, but someone who is making these beautiful pots. Like there was a certain artistic quality that you had. And I think this head thing, I think this is fabric that goes over. But long, oily, like not oily, but dark and oiled hair. Um, yeah. So and I'm getting a name of like my Jake Keka, Majekha. I don't know. I can look those up and see if those make any sense. But yeah, Mad Jaka, Mad, there might be a D in there. Majekha. Majdaka, something like that. Um, Very dark eyes, a ruddy kind of skin, kind of a darkish reddish skin. Um, yeah, I mean the extent. Your spouse. I should say one of your spouses. One of your spouses, like the most important spouse, the one you had your children with, had something to do with the lawmakers in town, in this area. He was part of the lawmakers, part of like the judicial system, but like nothing fancy like what we have in like Parliament, or the American government or American court system. Not like that. It's very rudimentary. I'm going to say rudimentary. Um, but those yeah, the living quarters, these like red brick kind of, they're not brick, it's smooth mud on the side, and it's almost like a little sloped on the sides, like they built them up. Let me knock everything over here. So very very sloped on the side. um and they did have windows, which was kind of cool. And I do see there's wood that like would go through them. So I guess there's some kind of wooden framework underneath there. There's bits of the wood that pops out. Not a lot of green at all. Like I'm not seeing any green there at all. Um, and very dusty and uncomfortable. Also, you could make rugs too, but I think that was a skill that like everybody could do. Like you would just go and you would, get what you needed, and then you would like braid these rugs together. But you had a particular, very nifty red rug in your main room in your like almost apartment or condo that was in there, in this red building that I'm seeing. And I guess it was like 2 stories, maybe 3 stories. Um, but there's beautiful red rug, and everyone would come in and you take your sandals or your foot covering off, and you would go over and you would put your feet on the rug, and that the purpose of it was to get the dust off your feet. So you would like kind of, but it was a big rug, so like that big rug would go out and you would, that would get pounded. And your mother was one who would take that rug out and pound it. Your mother, I think, lived with you, and was a great help to you, but she was kind of a know-it-all. Uh, no offense, no offense. I hope you're not offended. But with that, boys and girls, I do have to run. I've got to go pick up my daughter. She has a cocktail party to go to tonight. So I have to get her ready for that. And it's a masquerade cocktail. So it should be pretty interesting for her to go. And I'm going to put a ton of makeup on her, even though she doesn't like that. But I will record the video for tomorrow, which is going to be the Markle family. And will they ever Markle the big YouTubers that I follow? Will they ever Markle them? So it should be pretty interesting. I am a big fan of both Dan Wooten and Lady C. So I hope this goes the way I want it to. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for hanging out. It's always a great time here. I love doing lives with you guys. I really do need to do them more. But I am very, very busy with private readings of late. So if you would like your own magical private reading, there is a link at the top, pinned comment, and we can all get together privately. So I do have a past life event coming up this month. And I'm going to do another strictly psychic read this month. Those will be off YouTube. There'll be pay-per-view events. You guys come over, private event. I limit how many people are in those, and you guys get to ask questions. So I'm going to have my girlfriend Debbie will do the monitoring, or Gregopedia will do it if he's available. Actually, Dave Murphy was in the last one. He was really great. So I'm good, Merc, but I'm bugging out. I got to go pick up a kid. So I will let you guys know when that's coming up, and if you want to attend, that would be great. It was a lot of fun. We did the Lacey Peterson events, and we found out some very interesting things. And I'm not going to be putting those on YouTube, so it will be too hot for YouTube, off YouTube events. So Merc, no, I am not coming back today, but I will have a video for you tomorrow, and I'm going to try and do a live over the weekend. So I am running around like a maniac. So guys, have a great day. I will see you later. Again, thank you very much. I'll see you in the future.